Hello, fellow scholars! My name is Michelle Crook. I'm part of the first class of the Illinois Greenhouse Scholars, and welcome to the Greenhouse community. I'm going to talk to you about one of the components of this program, which is the mentorship. So let's get the logistics down first. The mentorship program means that you are going to be assigned/given an adult who is your mentor for the next 4 or 6 years, depending on if you still want to keep in touch with your mentor in graduate school. The requirement is that you speak to/somehow interact with your mentor at least 2 hours every month. Now, this means you can interact with them through email, phone calls, texting, Skyping, in person, anything that has to do with your mentor that counts towards the 2-hour time. My mentor and I interact by emails and by hangouts in person. So when I'm at school, I'll email him every once in a while, catch him up with big events, or he'll ask me how school is going, and we usually talk about academic stuff during the year because I'm in school, and that's kind of what's most important at the time. But I tend to write really long emails, so I try to keep it short because I know he's busy. So every once in a while, we'll give each other a phone call. When I'm in Chicago, it's a totally different story, so we like to hang out in person. We don't really interact unless it's in person, because I just enjoy that a lot more since I'm here. I think the best way to describe your mentor would be an adult, unbiased, non-judgmental supporter and friend. Yeah. Now, with that being said, I think there's some common misconceptions that incoming scholars have about what their relationship should look like. So this next segment is called Common Misconceptions. Michelle, a mentor is just a professional contact, right? Wrong. They're not just a professional contact. They are your friend. If you want to use your mentor for professional networking reasons, that's great, but that shouldn't be the only reason you go to them. Oh my god, what if our first meeting is so awkward? That's bad, right? Awkward is totally fine. You're meeting someone for the first time, never seen them before, don't know what they're like, and you're told that you're going to be with this person for the next 4 years. It's a little bit daunting, and it's totally, completely okay if the first meeting is awkward. Even if the second meeting is awkward. It takes some time for people to warm up to each other and be comfortable. So if the first meeting is awkward, do not sweat it. They're probably just as nervous as you are. I never tell my mentor that I'm struggling. I just say everything's fine. I love college. You don't have to be afraid to tell your mentor that you're struggling. If you lie and say everything is perfect and you're having a fantastic time and no problems at all, they're going to believe you and they won't know how to help. So do not worry about reaching out to them and admitting to them that you're struggling. My mentor is just someone I go to when I'm struggling academically. No! Your mentor is not someone that you go to just when you're struggling academically or just when you're struggling. You can talk to them/go to them whenever you want for whatever reason. Hey, mentor, bought a new pair of shoes today. What did you do? Now we're going to go into a little segment I like to call Advice for me. In all seriousness, I think one of the most important pieces of advice that I could give to an incoming scholar is to relax and be patient. I was really nervous when I first met my mentor, Greg, and I'm someone who takes a while to get comfortable with people. So I didn't sit down with Greg on the first day and tell my life story. It's not what I'm about. It took me about a year or so to get really comfortable with Greg and to open up about personal things in my life and to feel comfortable coming to him for problems or with things that I was struggling with. So it's okay if it takes time for you to develop that trust. It's a 4-year relationship for a reason, and don't feel bad about that. I also think it's really important for you guys to know not to be afraid to reach out. I'm someone who crazy emails people all the time until I get an answer. That's not true. I don't actually do that. But I like emailing people, and I like leaving voicemails, and I like knowing that you have gotten my message. So, to my mentor, I will leave him a voicemail, call him at his work. If he hasn't gotten back to me in a few days, I'll email him and ask him what's up. Just don't be afraid to go in there and really find a way to connect with them. They are professionals and they do have jobs, so they do work and they are busy, but that should not deter you from trying to stay in touch with them. I think it's important for me to let you guys know that you should say thank you to your mentor. And this is coming from personal experience where my mentor didn't really feel or didn't know if he was helping me in any way, shape, or form. And he told someone at Greenhouse, like, man, I just, Michelle's doing so awesome. I just don't know, well, like, what I'm here for. Like, I want to help her, but I just don't know how. Like, she doesn't need help. And that's when I realized that Greg didn't realize how much he had helped me already by just being there and by just talking to me. Just by being someone in my life who I know is supportive of me, that to me made all the difference, whether or not I was going to him for problems I was having or for not problems. Well, I'm exhausted from hearing myself talk. So now we're going to hear what some current mentors and scholars have to say about their relationships.
My advice to an incoming scholar would be to definitely reach out and not be afraid of their mentor. We're here for a reason. We're here to help. Give us a call and it's the best way to figure out what type of advice your mentor can give you, what type of advice you can get from advisors, friends, and where that mentor will fit in your circle of, trusted advisors in your life.
My advice to an incoming scholar would be to really stretch your mentor in terms of how they can help you. Oftentimes the mentor has perspective and professional contacts that are fairly extensive, and so I would do not be bashful about asking for the assistance. Mentor is there for a reason, and they have signed up for that, and if anything, I feel like I'd love to be able to do more and more for Nick. And so for a student, I would say absolutely your mentor wants to help you in any way they possibly can. They're excited about your future, and they can help beyond what you think they can help in terms of just basic advice. So I would say just take a broad shot, and my guess is they can help you in more areas than you think you could.
If I could give advice to a new incoming scholar, I would tell them one simple thing. Your mentor is there because they want to be. They don't have to be there. Nobody forced them to do this. It's entirely voluntary, and they want to be there because they want to help you. And so give them a chance to help you by trusting them and building a relationship with them as quickly as you can, so that they can help you do what you want to do in life and really make an impact. And don't worry about thinking that they're too busy because they have this career and they're busy doing their home life and they've got kids. They decided to incorporate you into their life and be part of your life because they wanted to be there. And so keep that in mind as you start to build a relationship with them, and don't ever think you're bugging them or taking too much time from them, because they want to help as much as they possibly can. And if you're bugging them too much, I'm sure they'll tell you, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
I think a great story I have of my scholar Hasave is that during the course of this year, she shaved her head. And thank goodness she told me beforehand, because when I met Hasave for the first time, she had hair all the way down to her back. And when we were meeting for lunch, Hasave emailed me and said, just so you know, I shaved my head. And I was like, wow! And I'm very glad she told me, because when I came to pick her up, wow, what a transformation. She looked fantastic. It was something she did for charity, and all in all was just a great experience.
So my favorite story so far with Nick was taking him out to Home Run Inn Pizza, which my son happened to be working at that summer. So I was there learning a little bit about Nick's initial semester at University of Illinois. And his eyes tend to be bigger than his stomach, so we ordered a big pizza, and he ended up taking, essentially almost the entire thing home, which is great. But that's when he broke the news to me that he had pulled, I think it was 24 or 25 all-nighters during his first semester. And I looked at him and said, wait a minute, I started doing the math, and that was like 2 or 3 a week. And so I said, Nick, that cannot continue to happen. And he almost seemed like that was normal stuff. And I said, trust me, at least from my experience, if you're having that many all-nighters, you're not getting time to do other things. So as he left with pizza, I think he was going to go home, eat pizza, and then sleep for the rest of the break. So that was my kind of welcome to the Greenhouse Scholar moment.
This, my fellow scholars, is the end of the video. I hope I was able to provide you with some insight as to what your mentorship relationship should look like. Remember, if you have any questions about anything at all, feel free to ask someone from Greenhouse, one of the staff, or one of the other scholars. We're all happy to help. So to end this video, I'll just say go out there and have a fantastic time with your mentor.